Hello and welcome to another edition of We Stream, the official reaction channel of epic rap battles of history. Today, we're going to be checking out Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. Before we do, here's a quick word from our sponsor. This sounds awful, Billy! Billy, why does your voice sound so bad?
Aw, gee willikers, I'm sorry. I usually got my tea to make me feel better in the morning when I'm singing, but I was drinking my tea, and now it's at like room temperature. I don't want it no more, so my throat feels a little scratchy.
Well, that's what happens when you use an inferior beverage containment unit, you dumb dingus. What even is this? Yeah. What you need is to use the coldest water to contain your beverages. Here.
But won't this just make my tea more cold?
No, you stupid nugget. It keeps things cold or hot. Yeah. You need to get with the program. Drink your damn tea with the coldest water to keep it at the right temperature, and we're gonna re-record that again.
Well, all right. I'll try this wonderful beverage containment unit on the advice of you. Glug glug. I'm ready to record again with my vocals restored.
Warning, the coldest water will not make bad singers better. The coldest water will, however, make beverages stay at the temperatures you inserted them at for many, many hours. Use the links below to try to win one or use code WeSkeem for 10% off your order today.
And that's the plug. So, the last time I saw Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump, or Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, whatever, was 4 years ago during the election season when this came out. Now, I still remember most of it, like just the general feel of it. But back then, I wasn't really watching ERBs with the fine comb mentality that I do now because I was watching it like a normal person. So let's go ahead and watch it like a not normal person and dissect everything that we see in preparation for Biden versus Trump coming later this month. Who's ready for it? I am. Let's get into this one. If you are new to the channel or existing to the channel, about 60,000 of you consistently watching are not subscribed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like what I do so we can keep doing it. Thanks.
Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton!
I've been in this game too long. I'm a public servant. Have been since I met MLK in person. I'm a woman of the people. That's for certain. You're a man of the people who don't like turbans.
Alright, so Hillary's starting out trying to establish that she's an OG politician. I've always thought their Lloyd's Trump was a lot better than what's-her-face's Hillary, but that's whatever. And then she's pointing out some possible xenophobia of Trump, don't like turbans, blah-de-de-blah, MLK, you got that. She's been in politics, kissing babies a hot minute, talking to peeps.
I was living in the West Wing while you were professional wrestling.
Because Trump was guest stars on WWE, West Wing Wrestling, you get it.
People who don't like turbans. I was living in the West Wing while you were professional wrestling. Got skin like Russian dressing from too much Russian investing.
Skin like Russian dressing, orange. If you've had Russian dressing, like salad dressing called Russian dressing, it's orange. Russian investing. You know all this stuff with Trump, and there's nothing that deep here. I don't know why I'm pausing. I just kind of feel inclined to do so.
Wrestling. Got skin like Russian dressing from too much Russian investing. You've been going bankrupt since the 90s. If I was in Iran, you couldn't find me.
Going bankrupt since the 90s because a pretty common business tactic. Sometimes you just file bankruptcy and that company may stay afloat, may not, but you're just like, you take big risk investments. If it doesn't work out, file bankruptcy. The banks will, and the government will bail you out and start something else. It's a really weird part of business that exists, but yeah, Trump's definitely done that. And then, If I was in Iran, you couldn't find me.
You don't care about the job, Trump. You just think that desk is shiny.
Because, you know, political things. I'm trying to think of how to talk about these topics without getting my monetization clapped, and I don't really think I can, so I'm just gonna leave that be.
Yeah. Any wrong, you couldn't find me. You don't care about the job, Trump. You just think that desk is shiny. I said that I respect your children, but that wasn't quite right, yo. Looking like some extras from American Psycho.
Okay, so American Psycho, you get it. They're nice and dressed up, but look like perhaps they are sociopathic or psychopathic. And then before that, she said some shiny desk thing. You get it. There's nothing crazy about this Hillary verse.
First name is Hillary, middle name Rado, last name is Clinton, the lyrics I got it. Fair celebrities on The Apprentice. Motherfucker, I fired it like crack.
I don't know how she's gonna be trying to take credit for that, but hey, there she is.
How do I say this? You're racist. Ooh, you must get so pissed that your hands are too small to stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk. That was, I think, most popularly in, like, Arizona and stuff. But stop and frisk is, like, bad laws about, like, police crap where you could just stop and frisk people if you...
Use your fingers.
Shut up. Sorry. If you stop and frisk people who you suspect of stuff, it's really messed up, sort of. But you get it, because she's saying tiny hands, stop and frisk. You get it.
Ooh, you must get so pissed that your hands are too small to stop and frisk. You use your fingers to touch chicks.
She's only 12 years old.
That's enough shit.
But she's married, sir.
Just gotta get pushy.
That's your daughter.
Well, grab her by the pussy.
Hey! Yeah, so you get all these. I like the little do-do-do-do back and forth, and it was a good rhyme scheme for grab her by the P word, Ben Shapiro style. Oh, so now we're into the sexual abuse allegations. Probably true. Trump seems like the character, like a lot of those kinds. So, you know, once you get this high in politics, most people are really bad people. And Trump, you know, he skipped a few steps. I think he was able to just get presidency because he'd just been such a bad person outside of politics that he just fit right in. Because if you get into a position of power in politics, you have to be a piece of crap.
That's enough shit.
But she's married, sir.
Just gotta get pushy.
That's your daughter.
Well, grab her by the pussy. That's assault, brother. Don't tell me the victim's at fault, sucker. Don't know shit about snakes. You could have watched them.
Yucca. Wait, what? A lot of this stuff, I'm not going to talk about this, because I'd like this video to stay monetized. You know, so just don't worry about it. Why is she comparing herself to the Murder, She Wrote lady? But I could kind of see that. There you go. Another staple of politicians. I think one of the best speech plagiarizers of our day is Joe Biden. Oh, he's got so many speeches he just completely ripped off. He got in trouble for that way back in the day in like the 70s or so. Biden did a very smart thing. Throughout the 60s and 70s, boy was getting in trouble every freaking day. And then when he ran for president the first time, he didn't make it very far because all that stuff, like all of his plagiarism through college and speeches, it all got brought up.
He quoted 5 pages of someone else's work without proper citation.
Joe Biden wind-up doll with somebody else's words coming out.
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania and come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground, and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
He just waited till he was old enough that nobody remembered who he was and ran again. Smart move. And even with the internet, people are too dumb to research them. If you don't know, Trump and Biden are, like, they'd be two peas in a pod. Personality-wise, they're like the same guy. Let me just play a clip of Biden.
I think I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the international moot court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Yeah, if that's not something Donald Trump would have done today, I don't know what is. To be fair, in his senile ways, I think maybe Biden grew out of it, or he's just really good at faking he's not actually like that. But bro, I feel like under different circumstances, Biden and Trump would be like best friends, because they are two peas in a narcissistic crazy pod.
Let me just say, I respect all females, but your rhymes are trash. Put them next to your emails.
You get it, emails.
Our country's in crisis.
Because the email scandals, whatever, who cares?
Who wants to vote for the mother of ISIS? That might not be exactly true, but I don't do. I like that.
The mother of that organization, monetization's important. Because some of the crap that happened with the Clintons possibly, and the Bushes possibly indirectly inspired and funded that group. That's where he's going with that. Wishy-washy. And I think Obama probably had another hand in possibly influencing or funding accidentally. Or it's complicated, all right? But let's just say, as a whole, the U.S. didn't do themselves any favor in not creating that group.
That might not be exactly true, but I don't do. I like that. Only gonna talk about misogyny. Your bill's worse than Cosby.
That's accurate.
You left a mess on that dress like you left in Benghazi.
You get it. Again, more stuff that I'm not gonna talk about. I didn't realize this whole reaction was gonna be things that Skeem doesn't talk about. Oh, YouTube doesn't like you talking about some of this stuff, so I'm just treading lightly.
Wanna break the glass ceiling, Hillary, I sense it. The only crack you'll find is my ass pressed against it.
Like, I just want more bars like that, right? That makes me happy. There's a butt stuff bar. Trying to break the glass. Oh, damn it, I keep hitting this. Go away. You want try to break the glass ceiling, because that's how Hillary ran her campaign. Yo, we're gonna break the glass ceiling for women, even though like all of the people that were like I'm with her are completely ignoring the fact that there's a female running for office this year, because conveniently forgetting. Anyway, but the only crack in the glass ceiling you'll find is his ass pressed. I don't know why. I'm a child. That's like my favorite bar so far. I don't know if there's any other bars that I'm not remembering that I'm gonna like more, but that one just touches my butt-stuffed heart.
That's it. The only crack you'll find is my ass pressed against it. Numbers are in it, I'm riding your tail. I don't have the stamina, baby, you're frail. This'll be just like a way when you fail. Trouble will pull you to jail.
I mean, he was right about most of that, except for the sending Hillary to jail bit.
How do I say this? Year or two, and you almost lost the primary to a socialist Jew.
Accurate. It's accurate. I'm not going to elaborate, but what he said was accurate. A little xenophobic and anti-Semitic, but technically correct.
What are the American people gonna Yankee Doodle do? They're gonna throw your fat face that they're just not that into you.
Yeah, nobody likes Hillary. I'm sorry, I don't care where you land politically. There's no reason you should have ever liked Hillary Clinton. If ever there was a face of corruption and Karen, there it is. I don't know what they were thinking, letting her run. I don't know how they thought that would work. I really don't. Like, and they were so confident. They're like, oh, she's leading the poll. I'm like, I don't know why you're letting her run. I don't want Donald Trump in office. But I knew when they let Hillary go through, I was like, there's no way. These polls are wrong. There's no way that the swing states that determine every election are voting for her. Because all the swing states hated her.
Strong male leader who could stand up to China. Not a great little wishy-washy bleeding heart vagina.
Sexism. Stop it.
I'm gonna run these streets like I run my casinos. More police and less Latinos.
We've kind of done that, right? I mean, at least he's sticking to what he said. Oh, the militant police state of our country is scary.
Us in debt by poor people sucks. I'll create jobs, tearing down mine. I'll use up.
Yeah, he hasn't done any of that. That would be sketchy.
All the best rocks from the site to build a wall. Dip it in gold and make Mexico pay for it all.
I like the dab. Make Mexico pay for it all dab. Oh, this does sound like the Trump supporter pipe dream, though. Tear down mosques and make a golden wall between us and Mexico.
This country great again. We'll all be living wrong until Congress you're fired and put jobs in charge.
That was a good little show.
Systems rigged, and we all know the rigor. For the last 8 years, this country's been run by.
Thank you, Abe, for saving us from that punchline.
Fucking kidding me with this blah blah blah. I have a mind to feature both coming overtime.
Cock joke.
Disgusting up in TMZ. You got brother black and brother on the Facebook feed.
It hasn't gotten better, Abe. It hasn't gotten better. Except now I think most of us are just laughing at the debates this year. I feel like 4 years ago, some people were somehow taking it seriously. I wasn't. I thought it was a joke then, too. You have the extremists, obviously, on both sides. They're like super like, oh, yes, Trump is our savior. Or, oh, yes, Biden's our savior from the devil. But it's not as intense as I think it was during the Trump-Hillary election. That in my observation, anyway.
I'm sick and tired of this ridiculous shit. If this is the best my party gets, then my party should quit. I'm sorry. Did I say something that you found funny? Wipe that creepy ass smile off your face and beat this dummy.
Just in case you don't know your political history, Lincoln was the first Republican president. And Lincoln ushered in the two-party system, which really eventually is what screwed us up a lot. So Lincoln started with some great stuff, but inadvertently that created a split in the country that never really recovered. That split never recovered. The North versus the South is still a subtle existence. Up until, what was it? The 90s, probably? The early to mid 90s. Up until then, the South was Democratic. There's stuff to that, but yeah, if you look through the history of elections, the South always voted Democrat. The more you know.
If she does win the White House.
In fact, I think the same's true for California and stuff, like the states that everyone always thinks of as Democratic states. I think California was pretty well Republican until maybe the 80s or the 90s as well. Look it up if you don't believe me, punks. We have like a short-term memory in this country. No one studies our own history.
I'll be a man and hold the door. Don't get your fans stirred up in some sort of Twitter civil war. Here's an equal opportunity smackdown in a sequel. Let's have the people, for the people, for the people.
He gives all the slaps to Trump because I guess he doesn't want to hit a girl. But I mean, Hillary, come on. Are you really hitting a girl? Technically, maybe you give her a slap. Anyway. But yeah, we get it. There's outro stuff. Alright, so on revisiting this 4 years later, here's some takeaway thoughts that I have. Hillary's verse was so weak. I feel like, compared to Trump's, like, I really just didn't enjoy Hillary's verse. I don't know, it just kind of felt like Hillary, didn't it? It was like, cool, you're kind of right about what you're saying, but I don't care. Abe Lincoln, I don't think was being that unbalanced against Trump. I mean, let's be honest. Trump's not a politician. Hillary is. What the fuck are we doing electing the guy? No one's still figured that out yet. So I think it's fine. I still enjoy it. It's just more of just kind of somewhat slightly depressing. Vote Joe Jorgensen. That's who I'm voting for. It's not about winning. It's about getting enough votes that the Libertarian Party can attract funding of major TV networks and shit like that. If you didn't know, in the US, political races are run by finances, not by any merit or anything. It's just by who has money. And if a political party can get money, they can actually be a legitimate party instead of a third party. It would actually be like everyone's getting equal share of media attention. That only happens if you could pay off the media people, the people who are setting up the debates. They gotta get paid, and they gotta get paid lots. And the only way that these parties are going to be able to raise the funds and get the funds from the feds to pay these people is if they get enough of the popular vote that it's deemed worthy that they get these funds. That's why you've had some elections just not too long ago, 10, 20 sort of years ago, where a third party was being able to be on the debate stage because they'd raised enough money, because there was enough popular attention on them. So, in case you think voting a third party is a wasted vote, it's not. Your goal is not to win. Your goal is to get like 10 to 15% of the popular vote. And if everyone who thought about voting third party actually did, you'd get 10 to 15% of the popular vote. You'd get funding for that party, and that party, come next election cycle, would actually be on the main stage of debates on Fox, CNN, and all those crap news networks. And then the old people sitting at home would realize that there's actually a third candidate and would actually listen to them, and they'd be a legitimate candidate. It would literally take one election cycle to break the two-party system if people weren't such dumb fucks, actually voted for the right candidate. Because let's be honest, in your state, unless you live in a swing state, your vote doesn't matter if you vote for one of the two major parties. So the only way your vote honestly counts is one, if you actually like one of these two candidates, or two, you vote for a third party. The fact that I have to teach people that on my channel is astonishing to me. We have the internet, you should know this yourself. But until next time, I scheme, you scheme, we all scheme for ice cream. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!